Chosen one, something sacred is happening. If you're seeing this right now, you've been led by divine alignment, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by prophetic timing. Heaven is speaking, and it is urgent. God has released a financial breakthrough over your bloodline. The season of struggle, of stress, of scraping by is coming to a divine end. July 28th is not just another day on the calendar, it is a spiritual threshold, a divine moment where the chain of generational lack will snap and wealth will begin to flow like never before. For too long, your family has known the language of survival. But now, God is shifting you into the language of abundance, of legacy, of prosperity. You have been chosen to break this cycle, and the shift begins now. You've carried burdens that weren't even yours. You've cried in silence, wondering why you always had to be the one holding it all together. The financial stress in your home wasn't just numbers and bills, it was spiritual warfare. Every unpaid bill, every broken appliance, every emergency that showed up right when you were trying to save. These weren't random. They were attacks designed to keep your family bound. But God has seen your effort. Heaven has watched your faith even when it didn't make sense. And now, in return, the divine court has ruled in your favor. Your obedience in the dark is about to be rewarded in the light. A divine reversal is underway. The door of lack is closing, and the gate of divine provision is swinging wide open. This is not just a message, this is a divine announcement. Heaven has already dispatched angels to prepare your financial miracle, that unexpected payment. It's already been authorized, that debt cancellation, already in motion, that job opportunity. It's heading your way faster than you think. Even now, something is shifting in the unseen realm. Contracts are being written with your name on them. Money that was delayed is being released. Wealth that was withheld is being unlocked. And not just for you, for your household, for your bloodline, for every generation after you. Because what God is doing on July 28th isn't a small blessing. It's a foundational shift that will break poverty off your name forever. You must align your heart, clear your mind, and open your spirit. What's coming is too big for old mindsets. What's coming requires space. God is about to pour out something powerful, and He needs a vessel that's ready to receive. Before we dive deeper into this word, I need you to do 3 things. First, like this video, not just to support the channel, but as a bold act of agreement with this prophetic message. Second, subscribe and help us reach 1,000 chosen ones walking in purpose. Then go to the comments and write 99 or 777. These numbers are more than symbols. They are prophetic signals to heaven. 99 represents fulfillment and divine urgency. 777 represents spiritual completion and divine perfection. When you type them, you're not just commenting. You're declaring in faith that you're ready. Third, write your deepest desire, your most heartfelt prayer in the comments. Don't just type it, release it with faith. Because whatever you write in faith becomes sealed in the heavens. This is your divine declaration. Now, chosen one, listen carefully. Your family's history is about to be rewritten. There was a generational spirit of limitation that kept rising up every time someone tried to elevate, but it's being cast out. Every time someone tried to buy property, something went wrong. Every time someone tried to save, an emergency would drain the account. But that pattern breaks with you. You are the interruption. You are the first of your kind. You are the one who will hand your children keys to land and wealth, not just stories of struggle. There's a divine timeline God is aligning you with, and 28th of July is the turning point. What begins on this date will ripple into the future. God is re-establishing your family's name in wealth, not just spiritually, but financially, because it's all connected. You may have noticed lately that things have been tense. Attacks have intensified, money has seemed tighter. That's not a sign of failure, it's a sign of transition. The enemy always tries to fight hardest right before the breakthrough. But this time, the resistance is confirmation. Because God is about to do something so public, so undeniable, that even your enemies will be silenced. There are people who doubted your ability to rise. There are relatives who look down on your struggle. But after July 28th, they will have no choice but to watch you flourish. Not to brag, but to bear witness. Because your testimony is about to become their awakening. Pay close attention to the next few days leading up to this divine date. Your dreams may become more vivid. You might feel heavy emotions come to the surface. You may even feel fatigued or confused, but don't panic. That's your spirit adjusting. That's heaven making room for the wealth God is pouring in. Things may fall apart before they fall into place. People may leave. Unexpected shifts may occur. But all of it is necessary. God is not just blessing your bank account, He's rebuilding your life from the foundation up. This is not just a financial change, it's a divine construction project. Old systems are being torn down so that the new structure of abundance can stand. This isn't about lottery luck or quick riches. This is about divine strategy and kingdom wealth. God is transferring not just money, but wisdom, not just possessions, but power. You're going to start thinking differently, spending differently, saving, investing, building. Your entire mindset is about to shift. This is why the enemy fought your peace, because peaceful people build legacies, and your legacy is sacred. It's not just about you eating well today, it's about your grandchildren living well tomorrow. God is trusting you with this breakthrough because you won't squander it. You'll multiply it, you'll protect it, you'll pass it on. If you've ever prayed for your parents to live without worry, if you've ever wept seeing your family struggle, if you've ever dreamed of being the one who brings freedom to your household, God heard it all. Every tear, every prayer, every declaration, it counted. And it's being answered. On July 28th, a supernatural activation begins. That doesn't mean everything will fall into place in a single day, but the door will open, the breakthrough will initiate, and what follows will be a divine flow. Month after month, you'll see things you once only imagined. Divine help will show up in ways you can't explain. Opportunities will seek you, people will support you, and your family will finally rest. This is why you've been chosen. You didn't just inherit the struggle, you inherited the solution. You're not just a survivor, you are the seed of generational transformation. The foundation is shaking right now because heaven is laying new bricks under your feet. Financial stability is not a fantasy, it is your portion. And on July 28th, the heavens are declaring, it begins now. There is a sound in the spirit, and it's not the sound of sorrow anymore, it's the sound of divine release. Chosen one, your family has endured years of lack, years of just getting by, years of praying for just enough to survive another month. But now, the heavens have shifted. The books of lack are being closed, and the scroll of abundance is being opened over your bloodline. This is divine economy, not man-made wealth. This is the kind of blessing that builds empires, not just pays bills. God is not merely answering your request, He is elevating your identity. He's taking you from borrower to lender, from renter to owner, from dreamer to establisher. And He's doing it publicly, starting on the 28th of July. There were seasons when your family was embarrassed to talk about money. Conversations around the table were coated in anxiety and silence. Parents made sacrifices in secret. Children carried stress without language. And the weight passed down generation after generation. But on this appointed day, that curse is being broken. July 28th is not just a promise, it's an activation. The spiritual gates that held back provision are being dismantled. There is a heavenly order that has gone forth, and angels are moving on assignment. Those late payments, covered. That dream that needed funding, approved. That unseen opportunity, unleashed. This is a turnaround moment, and not just for you, but for everyone tied to your name. There are family members who've given up hope, some who don't believe change is possible anymore. They've become numb to financial stress, assuming life will always be hard. But they don't know what God whispered about you in secret. They didn't see the nights you cried behind closed doors, begging God for an answer. They don't know that heaven marked you as the one who would carry the mantle of prosperity and deliverance. That's why the resistance was so heavy. That's why every time you almost made progress, something pulled you back. But not this time. This time, the momentum is divine. This time, the shift is irreversible. God is going to use you to wake up their hope. This is about more than wealth. It's about redemption, about rewriting the legacy of your family name, about turning a history of lack into a legacy of provision. You will be the one who funds dreams, not just survives nightmares. The one who writes checks instead of crying over bills. The one who sets others free instead of needing rescue. And it all starts with this divine moment, July 28th. Not because the number is magical, but because God chose it. He has aligned timing, angels, opportunities, and outcomes to converge on that day like lightning. You'll feel it in your spirit. You'll sense it in your atmosphere. And if you stay in alignment, you'll witness it with your own eyes. Get ready for sudden signs, phone calls that shift things, emails that bring confirmation. Doors that have been locked tight for years will start to creak open. Financial blessings are being expedited. Some of them are delayed inheritances. Others are opportunities that bypassed others and are now finding their rightful home in you. You may even notice money showing up in unexpected places, not just for survival, but as proof that the drought is over. This is not a moment to doubt. This is a moment to align. Speak faith, walk boldly, prepare your plans. Because when the floodgates open, you don't want to be caught unprepared. The Spirit is saying, get your house in order, not in fear, but in faith. Clear the clutter. Organize your vision board, write down your goals, revisit that business idea you shelved, because the resources are coming. And when they do, they will demand direction. God is not blessing you randomly, He's blessing you for purpose. And the blessing will be proportional to your readiness. For too long, you've been in survival mode. Now it's time to shift into stewardship, not just managing lack, but managing overflow. That's the season you're entering. And the 28th is the gate that opens the path. Chosen one, you are not here to repeat your parents' story. You are here to redeem it. You are not here to carry forward broken systems. You are here to heal them. And the way you heal is by becoming the first in your family to walk in divine financial favor. You will become the family's stability, the anchor, the safe place. No longer will people whisper, I hope they make it. Now they will say, they made it, and they're helping us rise too. This is what God is preparing you for, a public reversal. An undeniable elevation, not just so you can feel good about it, but so you can be used to set captives free. You may have lost money in the past. Maybe people betrayed you. Maybe you made some unwise decisions when you didn't know better. But that will not be your ending. God is rewriting your relationship with wealth. The guilt, the fear, the confusion, it's all being washed away. He is giving you new eyes to see money as a tool of blessing, not a chain of stress. He is healing the trauma your family has carried around money. The shame, the silence, the tension, it all breaks now. This is a supernatural detox from poverty thinking. You're about to think like royalty, plan like an investor, move like a builder, and give like a fountain. This transformation is generational. Your children's children will benefit from this shift, and one day they will say, it changed with them. It began with that moment. It started with that date, and that date will be remembered July 28th. That's how big this is. That's how spiritual this is. That's how permanent this is. Your name is being inscribed into the divine records of restoration. You are no longer just hoping for a change. You are the change. Chosen one, when the heavens decide it's your time, nothing on earth can stop it. And that time has come. The pain you carried, the confusion you hid, the pressure you bore quietly while pretending to be strong, it was never in vain. It was preparation for the weight of the blessing now approaching your household. You are not entering just another phase of life. You are crossing into divine fulfillment, into the long-awaited promise. For years, your family has cried out in prayer. For years, you've asked God to intervene. And now He is moving in undeniable ways. He is making your name echo in places you haven't even walked into yet. Your financial freedom is not just arriving, it's already begun in the spirit. There's a reason you feel the shift so deeply. It's because your spirit already knows the blessing is here. Before the transaction hits your account, your soul is sensing it. This is what divine wealth feels like. It starts within. It starts with a new posture, a new rhythm in your spirit, a sudden stillness in your heart that says, I don't need to chase anymore. It's coming to me, and it is. Resources, help, clarity, opportunity, they're moving like waves toward you. And on July 28th, the current becomes visible. The invisible becomes tangible. The things you've been asking for in silence will suddenly find their voice and manifest loudly. Your life is not just improving, it's being redefined. You're going from a person who once had to pray for survival to a person who now sows into others' survival. The energy is reversing. Instead of always being in need, you are becoming the answer. Instead of always being the borrower, you are becoming the benefactor. This is the transformation that heaven delights in. Because you didn't just ask for wealth for yourself, you asked to free your family. You prayed over your parents' stress. You cried over your children's future. You worried about the roof over your loved ones' heads. God saw that, and now He's honoring it. This shift isn't just personal, it's spiritual warfare that has been won. There were strongholds, old financial curses attached to your bloodline, things spoken in bitterness generations ago, decisions made in desperation decades back, patterns of debt, addiction, waste, and fear that attach themselves to your family like chains. But God said enough, and He chose you to be the one to break it. That's why your path was so rough. That's why your battle felt heavier than everyone else's. Because you weren't just fighting for yourself, you were fighting to break a curse. And now that curse is broken. It ends with you. July 28th is the beginning of a new bloodline contract, written in grace, signed in favor, sealed in glory. You may feel a strange stillness before the date. Don't misinterpret it. That stillness is not delay, it's alignment. God is bringing things into position behind the scenes. Think of it like the hush before the rain. The clouds gather, the wind shifts. And then suddenly, the downpour. That's the nature of divine provision. Quiet, then thunderous. Subtle, then overwhelming. You'll look back and realize everything was being prepared while you were waiting. The silence wasn't punishment, it was precision. And what's coming is not a one-time miracle. It's a stream, a flow, a consistent divine economy where you no longer stress over income but steward increase. Money will start responding to you differently. It won't run from you anymore. It will recognize your name. Why? Because heaven has approved it. Your spirit is marked. You've graduated from cycles of lack. You've passed the test. You stayed faithful when it didn't make sense. You obeyed when others mocked. And now you are being crowned with increase, not just for your glory, but for God's glory. You will become a billboard of God's ability to redeem even the most broken financial story. Watch how things fall into place after the 28th. Contracts will get signed, delayed checks will arrive, debts will be reduced or cancelled entirely. You'll receive unexpected support. New streams of income will emerge, seemingly from nowhere, but know this, it was all in the divine plan. It was all being orchestrated in realms you couldn't see. There are people already thinking about blessing you. Organizations already discussing your name, opportunities already crafted in your absence, waiting for your arrival. You didn't miss your moment. It was being saved for you. And when it arrives, you will know it wasn't hustle that got you here. It was favor. Not manipulation, but manifestation. Not pressure, but prophecy. You won't need to force it. You won't need to beg anyone to see your worth. The anointing on your life will speak louder than any resume, louder than any doubt. And when people ask you how it happened, you'll smile and say, "It started on July 28th. That was the day God opened the gates." The impact of this blessing won't stop with money. Your relationships will feel lighter. Your mental clarity will improve. Your confidence will rise. Financial freedom gives birth to peace in every area. You'll sleep better. You'll love harder. You'll give more. You'll dream again. And most importantly, you'll plan for the next generation, not just for the next emergency. That's how you know God is in it. It's not temporary relief. It's permanent repositioning. You've stepped into a miracle window. And this window is only for those who endured the drought with integrity. For those who praised even while hungry. For those who believed when it made no sense. God is honoring that endurance. He's turning your sweat into streams, your patience into provision, your fasting into flourishing, and your suffering into strategy. This is your inheritance, and it's no longer hidden. On the 28th of July, it becomes visible. Mark that date, not in fear, but in faith. Something divine is coming, with your name written all over it. Chosen one, prepare your heart, because what's arriving is not just a financial shift, it's a full spiritual realignment. You are moving into a realm where abundance replaces anxiety, peace overtakes panic, and divine provision becomes your new normal. For years, you've been in survival mode, budgeting hope and stretching prayers. But that era is over. July 28th is not just a date, it's a divine threshold. The pressure you've carried silently is about to be replaced with peace so loud, it fills the rooms of your home. God is rewriting your relationship with money, not to make you greedy, but to make you free. This is not just about having enough, it's about having more than enough, so you can bless, build, and break generational curses once and for all. Heaven is not just sending provision, it's sending wisdom, strategy, and the people to help you multiply what's coming. Expect divine alignments. A stranger could become the key to your next opportunity. A delayed payment might show up at the perfect moment. A quiet dream in your heart could suddenly be fully funded. And don't be surprised when people who once ignored you now pay attention. Favor has a sound, and your life is starting to echo with it. You are no longer the one begging for a chance. You are the one walking in purpose. You are becoming the answer to someone else's prayer. That's the power of this shift. That's the weight of July 28th. You'll notice your mindset shifting too. You'll stop thinking, "I hope I make it," and start declaring, "I am made for this." You'll walk into rooms with quiet confidence, not pride, alignment, not arrogance, anointing. Your discernment will sharpen. You'll see through fake opportunities and feel when something is truly divine. This is what happens when God trusts you with wealth. He trains your spirit first. Your home will feel the difference. Tension will be replaced by laughter. Conversations will shift from "we don't have enough" to "what do we want to build?" Because God is not just blessing you, He's blessing the bloodline. The curse ends with you. The legacy begins through you. But with blessing comes responsibility. Guard your peace. Not everyone deserves access to your overflow. Blessing brings visibility, and visibility attracts both purpose and distraction. Keep your spirit clean, your gates guarded, and your heart humble. You are being trusted with more because you've been faithful with little. You've sowed in secret, now you'll reap in public. You've cried in silence, now you'll laugh with joy. July 28th will be a moment of release, a divine exhale. Your soul will recognize it before your eyes see it. That weight lifting, that's heaven saying, "Well done, now rise," and rise you will, not just in income, but in influence. Not just in provision, but in power. Because you weren't chosen just to receive, you were chosen to rebuild, to restore, to raise a standard for those who come after you. That's why the warfare was so intense. That's why the delay was so long. Because what you're about to carry would have crushed you in your old mindset. But now, you're ready, so stand boldly, speak confidently. July 28th isn't just another day, it's a holy announcement in the heavens. The financial struggle ends, the chosen rises, the family is free. Chosen one, the waiting is over. What once weighed your family down is now lifting. The nights of worry, the silent stress, the quiet sacrifices, they all led here. July 28th is not just a moment on the calendar, it is a divine announcement. Heaven has declared your family's financial struggle ends now. This isn't just relief, it's release. The chains of lack are being broken. The cycle of just enough is over. You're stepping into a new rhythm where overflow is natural and peace is your foundation. You're not just receiving money, you're receiving restoration. The joy that lack stole is coming back. The opportunities you missed are circling back. And the confidence that life tried to crush is rising again in you. You are no longer the one praying for a door to open. You are the door. You are the breakthrough your bloodline has been waiting for. What God is doing in your life will bless generations. What was broken in silence will be rebuilt in public. Mark this date, July 28th. Speak it with boldness, honor it with faith, because it is the divine line in the sand where the struggle ends and the story changes. The enemy lost, the drought ends, the reign of favor begins. Now walk boldly, walk wisely, and walk knowing you are free. And now so are you. Heavenly Father, today I stand before you, tired but full of faith. I receive this miracle that arrives in your perfect timing. I thank you for breaking the chains of lack over my family. I praise you for turning the pain of the past into the blessings of the future. Keep my heart pure, my spirit humble, and my hands full of grace. Make me not only a receiver, but a giver. Let this blessing uplift my family, my community, and generations to come. Multiply my provision, not just in wealth, but in wisdom and peace. Today I declare, the drought is over, the fear is gone, the chains are broken, and I, your chosen one, will carry this miracle with honor. Be glorified, Lord, fulfill your word, sanctify my journey. Amen.